Hello everyone and welcome to the Everyday Alchemy Show on the Win. I'm your host Marcy Cole, and we have with us again Christina Morassi, very, very dear friend. She's known as coaching wild women in business, which she integrates photography and business mentoring. And so we welcome you here again today, sweetie. The episode number 2, Christina talked about her definition of alchemy and her own personal and professional transformation. And this is what this show is about, you know, transforming our dreams into reality. And she shared with us the way she has walked through it in her own life, which has been extraordinary. I've had the great privilege of bearing witness to it. And then she also shared with us some exercises and, of course, the roar at the end, which is the tradition.
We like to roar.
Yes, no question, which we will, of course, not miss out on that today. Today, we're going to focus on the creative flow of energy and how we transform sometimes the stagnation that we might feel, the block we might experience when we're really kind of stuck in our heads. And Christina is really a queen of many things, but one of the things she's queen of is ritual. And I have again been able to participate and been so inspired by her holding a beautiful space for that. So she's going to share with us today a few experiential ritual exercises we can all do to help us kind of tap into that creative energy in order to transform it into our greatest potential and being able to share it with the world.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Well, thank you for having me here today. And I love what you're bringing in because I think it's so important. I mean, as a society, so many of us are like living from the neck up, right? Like we're all in our heads. And there's a wealth of information like down in our bodies, right? If we want to be living full out, it's not from the intellect. It's the intellect and the body and the spirit and everything all together. So I think it's so important to keep finding ways to get us out of our head and down into our bodies, because I'm in my head a lot too, right? So I have to work at it as well. So we're going to share some fun little tips, right?
Yeah, good.
Okay. So number 1 is really very simple, and it's just literally to get out of your head and down into your body. And you were saying you could do this anywhere, right?
Anywhere. So you could be walking into a corporate meeting, right? Doing this and taking a moment.
So what we're going to invite you to do is get out of your chairs, and if you'd like to join us right now, that would be great. And so we're just going to have our feet like hip distance apart, and what we're going to do is just bounce. Want to join me in bouncing?
Yeah.
So we're going to bounce downward. It is, I mean, it's simple, yes, but it's actually quite effective. So literally, we're being aware of our feet, we're being aware of our hips, and it's a bounce downward to connect to the earth beneath us. And the bouncing down, gravity, right, kind of takes us out of the head and down into our bodies. And you can be aware of your tailbone, right? That's kind of the root in our own bodies. And just kind of hang out there.
Feels good.
It does, right?
Yeah.
I do this with clients all the time because I think, you know, there's a wealth of information in our bodies and we need to remember how to tap into that. So that's number 1.
Yes, and I must say that Christina just took some photographs of me again. Again, the photograph on the Win Alchemy page is a Christina Morassi photograph, and she did this with me. She helped me kind of ground into the bottom half of where you are, and that was really helpful. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was number 1.
Yes.
So number 2 is the almighty dance break. Now this is one of my favorite things because again, we all have our own innate sense of rhythm, and it's really important to like access moving our bodies however you do it. So in the midst of your busy day, if you can do this, especially if you're an entrepreneur anyway, and if you're not, then maybe in the bathroom, but like go put on your favorite music and dance like a wild woman around your living room, right? Yes. I mean, it's just so important to kind of let loose, take a break, get into the body, really like let it go. And then when you go back to your work, it will be completely different. You've gotten out of the head, down into the body, and it really is like this ritual of remembering like, oh yeah, I've got a body. I am more than just my head, right?
Absolutely.
So should we do a little like dancing just to
you know,
demonstrate?
but like, you know, but you need some music, but you can put on your headphones.
You can put on
anywhere.
It could be inner music. You never know. But yes, find your favorite music and dance around. And so that is the almighty dance break.
And also think about how you feel when you're on the dance floor. You know how you're kind of, I know this happens for me. I'm kind of stiff. I'm kind of feeling, God, I haven't done this in a while. And all of a sudden it kicks in.
Yes.
And then you're loose. And then it's like, you know, nothing can hold you back. You feel so different afterwards, right? So
Absolutely.
cool.
And this is, I use this in my business day. And I also do this a lot with clients. So
she practices what she preaches. She does.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so then tip number 3 is you take it one step further. Now, here's the thing. In our everyday lives, we do very similar motions, right? I'm just going to demonstrate. We walk around, we eat, we're on the phone, we type. Our body's used to moving in very particular patterns. And so what happens if we like break out of those patterns and kind of move in a different way? Now, this is a little strange. I'm not going to lie, and it's definitely a little goofy as well. However, it's quite powerful because when you move in patterns that are outside of your normal ways of moving, literally you're using different neurons in the brain. And you're going to access your creativity, and it's going to juice up everything you're doing because it's not the same, right? Yes. You're literally trying to break out. So it's kind of taking the dance break and going a little bit further, and ideally, the goofier, the better. And you kind of want to look for movements that you've never like done before. And I know it can be a little strange. Now, mind you, sometimes with my clients, we do this in public, but only if they're really ready for it. But it's an amazing tool. Like, I worked a lot on getting outside of my boxes, like freeing myself to live full out by doing things like this. So,
and it taps into the different parts of the brain,
yes,
right? That open up other portals for creativity. So that's what I think is so cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So tip number 1,
yes,
bouncing downward. Tip number 2, the almighty dance break. And then tip number 3 is take it further and get strange, right?
Okay, we're embarrassing ourselves, but that's okay because we are.
But listen, embarrassment is good.
Yes, you let it go.
You let it go,
yes,
and it gets you outside your ego too, right?
Yes, yes.
Which, we need our egos, but at the same time, like our glory and the fullness of our expression is outside of our ego when we're okay with looking a little strange and being in our true selves. So
yes, absolutely.
To me, that is alchemy.
I agree.
And to me, that's also a ritual of like, I'm solid enough in myself that I can step outside the norm and be fully creative.
Yes.
And that's like a wild woman in business.
Yes.
Right?
Let's do it.
It's exciting.
Are you ready? Are you set? So I think those are 3 things that we can all do that are easy, that are simple, that loosen us up, get us out of our head, into our heart, into our creative flow. So it's inspired me to, I've known some of this stuff before, but it just is a reminder to get it flowing again. So
yes,
thank you, sweetheart.
You're welcome.
I want you all to know how to get in touch with Christina and be able to always access what she's doing, because what she's doing in the world is always evolving and changing, and her creative flow is just in the flow as far as I'm concerned. So ChristinaMorassi.com.
Yes.
Yes. And that's where you can go for her current programs and messages and free bonus fun gifts, and
yes,
you can always access her there.
Usually interesting videos where I am very much practicing what I preach.
Yes.
By dancing and moving strangely and roaring. Do we need to finish with a roar?
I think we have to finish with a roar, which again, the symbolism of the roar creatively is to kind of get down into your belly and your body and just kind of clear out that center channel so that you are just like fully clear beacon of the message and mission that you're here for, right? All right, you ready? Ready? But again, we need full participation. Open your mouth. Okay. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. It's fun, right? I know, you feel silly, but it's good to like liberate ourselves, right? It is. And when one person liberates themselves, they free and like feed the rest of the world. So that's what we say around here. Rock on, Alchemy Sisters.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you for watching, and look forward to seeing you next round.